Hey everybody, welcome to This Week in People. This Week in People is supported by my friends at Pin. Pin is an employee communications platform for the distributed workplace and big supporters of the show, and I am grateful for that. Let's dig in. This show is also brought to you by my mustache. So this is not an everyday mustache. This is a Movember mustache. For those of you that have been following along to Movember, this is actually my 13th consecutive year of growing this fuzzy lip sweater for charity. So if you want to support my efforts to help men's health, you could do so on the link below. And let's dig in. So, how's everybody doing? Yeah, pretty much. I think this is pretty much the world right now, hitting refresh on devices and seeing what the Electoral College map is looking like. This has been a big week, an anxious week, and I've been spending a lot of my time there, so I don't have a ton of news updates for this week, but let's go ahead and dig into the ones I do have. So first off in the news is American Express. They announced earlier this week that they will be investing $1 billion in a diversity push. They didn't have a lot of details on exactly what was involved yet. They talked about some internal developmental programs as well as a $750 million investment in their diversity partner ecosystem and vendors. So looking forward to more details on that to see exactly where and how they plan on investing those funds. But obviously, quite a big statement and commitment on their end. So let's see actually what they do and how they follow through. Continuing diversity, I want to flag a thread from Upworks Dr. Erin Thomas on some of the specific initiatives that their recruiting team took to enhance the representation and inclusiveness of their recruiting efforts. Dr. Thomas is one of my go-tos on all things diversity and inclusion, so definitely follow her if you're on Twitter. Definitely check out this thread. There's some tangible examples here, and frankly, in my view, anything that she writes and puts out there is worth your time. There's an interesting article in HBR about the concept of burstiness in communications for distributed teams. And, for those of you, like many of us, who've kind of shifted to distributed over the course of 2020, communication can be difficult. I think when you move from kind of, co-located communication styles to asynchronous communication and distributed and remote communication, there's a tendency to bombard people with pings, alerts, Slacks, whatever, and often expect a immediate or soon response to that. And so this idea of burstiness is that you should have kind of core hours within the day that are used for rapid fire communication, but you should also have kind of quiet and dark periods during the day so that you can actually get deep work done, which I think we all have to work on, kind of optimizing how, where, and when we communicate in this new kind of distributed reality that many of us will find ourselves in for quite some time. I want to flag an event to all of you from my friends over at the Recruitment Events Company called Talent Tech Rising. For those of you that are on the market for HR tech, the process of scheduling demos can be long, painful, and not enjoyable, but this is a little bit different. So this is a rapid fire kind of experience where they bring in a range of vendors that are pre-vetted, so they at least reach a certain bar, and they have 10 minutes to basically present their technology to viewers. So it's free to sign up for. It's over 2 days in mid-November. Definitely work your time. Jamie, Leonard, and the whole team at the Recruiting Events Company put on phenomenal events. So I think this one will be worth your time. My friends at Spotify have launched a new podcast. So I'm a huge fan of Katarina Berg, and who's Spotify's CHRO, and the work that her team does at Spotify. So I'm really excited to listen to this podcast. It's led by her team. They have an exceptional season 1 lineup that's already out. Spotify has been making huge investments in the podcast space over the course of the last year, so it's no surprise to see them, enter the space themselves on the HR side. So definitely worth adding into your podcast player of choice. And if you are like pretty much every human on the planet right now, you're dealing with a little bit of stress and anxiety. So the last thing I want to share is a Election Distractor from the New York Times. It's a really slick, interactive multimedia platform that has a range of calming things that if you need to take a break from hitting refresh on your device, spend a little bit of time here. I've done that over the last couple of days. I will be doing that over the next couple of days and weeks and whatever else we might be encountering. So Definitely worth checking out. And lastly, these are difficult times. This is a difficult election for viewers here in the US or those that care about politics here that really kind of trickle out to the world. I'm recording this on Thursday. This will air on Friday. We may have a president-elect by then. We may not. But more than likely, regardless of whether we do or don't, we are going to have a period. I think what the split result of this election has shown us is that we are a fairly fragmented and divided country right now. And there's a lot of people who are dealing with a lot of anger and frustration and anxiety. And so really, I just want to close the show with a reinforcing point to be kind. Be kind to each other. Be kind to yourselves. We're going to need that. This is just speaking about the political climate. This isn't even impacting, surging cases of COVID and the impact of that, as well as, continued and maybe reinforced from the election conversation on racism and systemic inequity. There is a lot to take in. And so practice patience, practice kindness with each other, with yourselves, and we'll get through this together. It's going to be some rocky periods, but wherever we can bring more kindness to our lives and the lives of those around us, the better we'll be able to help each other get through this. So that's a wrap for this week. I will see you next week with some more stories, news, and updates. And until then, stay safe out there.